Who is Randy?
Don't bring anyone mother into this.
Your mom in the fucking stand!
Let's talk about this because we had fun breaking this down the other day.
Yeah.
You and Chase McConnell were on the road.
Chase O'Donnell.
Sorry.
So Chase O'Donnell, my wonderful opener. For those of you who haven't seen her, I take her with me. She's fantastic.
She's great.
She taught me this game on the plane ride home yesterday, and we were just howling playing this. Dealbreakers. So, for instance,
and you got home and we started playing as soon as you got home.
Oh my God, I can't stop. Okay, so here's what it is. You meet your perfect partner.
Yeah, so whatever you're into, don't hit us up with like, well, what about
your gender,
whatever
blah, blah,
you
blah.
like. That's who you're playing
boy or
this
girl,
with.
doesn't matter.
Or non-binary.
You don't have to be definitive.
But if you're meeting your perfect partner.
Perfect partner. Okay, and let's say you go to her apartment for the first time, and you go through her closet, and in it are 100 porcelain dolls.
Yeah.
Is that a deal breaker?
Right. And for me, I would say no, and I'll tell you why.
But they're all the same.
I know, but here's why it's not a deal breaker for me.
Why?
I find it kind of troubling, and that intrigues me. Because I know that something's wrong with her, and I kind of want to find out what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I also feel like the sex is going to be kind of crazy because she's unstable, you know?
But in a good way, or she's
I don't know.
Wait,
I don't know.
But this gets me thinking then, what I must have had so many red flags.
There were some red flags with you. Yeah.
What did you see that was a red flag?
Kind of antisocial, a little upset in general.
Yeah, angry.
I sensed the anger and I was like, I like this, you know?
It's very true because I remember one of our first dates.
Oh, yeah.
Remember I was eating chicken wings and I was like, I don't believe in marriage. I don't believe in love.
And you're like, all guys suck. And, you know, I think dating sucks. And I was just like, I like her. You know?
Yeah, why didn't you run away? You should have run away.
I don't know. It turned me on.
It did. Yeah. I really think
now, if you'd stayed that way, no.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was just, you know.
Well, you warmed my cold heart.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with you. I didn't even expect that it would happen. And then you changed my mind, my life completely. So thank God.
See, it worked out.
Yes, it did. So let's go.
Now wait, let's flip it though. So you go to a guy's house. It's a dream.
Do you want to know a story?
Yeah.
I'll tell you the truth. So there was a guy in college who I actually really liked, and he was in animation, same as I was at the time. And we went out for a lunch date, and we're like, let's go back to my house. We'll, you know, watch something I worked on. And I was like, great, you know, maybe I'm going to hook up with this dude. And I go, can I go use the restroom? I went to go use the restroom, and I just peeked into his bedroom, and he had so many toys, like animation toys over the bed, on the headboard, and then a life-size cutout Chewbacca at the foot of the bed. And then I went to go use his toilet, and then on the toilet were toys. And then on the, do you know what I mean? Like, it was too many toys. And I was like, nah.
Really?
Nah.
See, that to me feels like very standard.
No.
I'm saying like for guys, I feel like there's a lot of guys that are like, yeah, collectible guys, and they have like all kinds.
But over the bedroom where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
It was a lot.
But that to you shut it down.
That shut my vagina shut. It sewed itself shut.
See, that's what these are deal breakers.
That was a deal breaker.
And everybody has a different, like, you know, and there's no right answer. People have different deal breaker scenarios, right? Like.
Yeah, because to me, it was indicative of him he was too childlike. And I was thinking to myself, how could I get down with this dude? And he's got like toys.
Okay, we got it one.
You know
for
what
you.
I mean?
This one for me is
it real?
This one's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
I like no hair.
Yeah.
On no hair parts. So you can have a big a bush you want. I don't care.
You don't care about a
if
bush.
it looks like you have a fucking football in your underwear. like you can have as much hair as you want down there. I don't care. I don't care about the bush. I don't like leg hair, and I don't like armpit hair. And if you have them, and I know that there's like this whole feminist forward thing of like, I'm a person, and we have hair like you do, and more women should be CEOs. And they fucking, you know, they go on their speeches about that shit. I think that's fine, but stay away from me. That's all I'm saying. Well, I like smooth legs.
Right. You like a woman, a lady.
Right. I'm a straight guy. I like hairless legs and I like shaved armpits on a lady. Okay? If you want to fucking scissor with your fucking patchouli sister, that's up to you.
Patchouli's so gross. You know, being in San Francisco, it just reminded me. I even said on stage this weekend, I said it's made out of dirty pussy juice and ball juices.
I agree.
It's so disgusting.
Forearms, I don't mind. Look, I mean, like, however.
Even if it's dark, like, what if her forearms look like yours?
No, I don't feel like you can, like, you know, I think, like, being like, you got to shave your arms is crazy.
No, women do.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They get it waxed and stuff or bleached.
I don't feel like that, but I feel like legs are, I mean, I don't know. It's just like the standard for me. I mean, like, I just grew up.
You're so funny. So, but my leg hair has always been blonde, so you don't even see when I got longies down there.
No, I've never seen longies on you. But if you had long dark hair, I would say something right away.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be your, but you wouldn't love me.
Hey, come here a second. You like this house? You like
this life? How do you like this life? Jenny.
No.
I agree. Listen, I'm all for the
Maybe
feminists.
that's why I've always liked blondes.
Because we're fair. Yeah, there's no hair. I have to
Yeah.
say, too, I'm all for women making a choice. You want to have hair under your arms. Whatever.
But shout out to dark hair girls. I don't want you to think that I haven't. I mean, I've been with a few very dark haired girls.
Stop it.
Yeah, I remember one girl.
I don't think it looks good,
I went out with one girl who was Dominican. And
what the fuck is this? You've never, 15, 17 years together. This is the first I've ever heard that you went out with a Dominican.
I mean, I don't break down every date that I ever went on.
I've been asking you to tell me these juicy details for centuries. You never tell me anything.
This girl had
unfucking real
dark hair patches on the backside of her leg. She had like trouble cutting the hair back there for some reason. I don't know. It grew thick on her.
Yeah, and that was it.
I still put it in her. I'm not saying that like.
Okay, what if this is this a deal breaker? Girl of your dreams. She's the one. You're gonna marry. You're in love, but her vagina has a very pungent odor. Now, if you're a woman, his nuts and his dick have a very pungent odor, and there's nothing that can be done. And it's not an STD. It's just kind of a deal.
Here's why
smell.
it's a deal breaker, because it's a long-term thing, man. And if you're like forever, it's gonna smell like a sewer when you go down on someone. Like, that's kind of a deal breaker.
Well, I don't know if it's a sewer, but let's just say
What's it smell? All right, give me a specific smell.
It's your smell, but strong. It's like times 10.
Does it smell like an asshole?
No, it smells like dirty genitals.
But she's awesome otherwise.
I'm not sure it's that big of a deal. And you don't smell it unless you're sexually. Well, then again, it is kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal. Can never be cleaned.
Yeah, that's true. That's not cool.
I mean, a couple times, you've been drinking. You guys had a wild night. You're like, fuck it, I've had like 10 tequilas. I don't care
if you've smelled her
Your pussy smells like puke. I don't care. But, but I mean, you're going to have you're in a long-term thing. You're going to be like, all right, like it's a lazy day. And you're just laying in bed. And then you're like, God damn, you always stink. You're going to get in fights about it.
Can I tell you?
Why do you always smell like shit?
It's true. I had a friend. This is so disgusting. I had a guy friend who was dating this beautiful model, and he said that she didn't like to shower.
Ugh.
And that one time they were in a clothing store trying on clothes, and they were in a dressing room, and he goes, yeah, she pulled her pants down to try something on, and the whole room smelled so bad.
Oh my God.
And he was just like, haha, it's funny how the room smelled bad. And I was like, that didn't gross you out? He's
that
like,
didn't
no.
gross me out because you said you led with it was a beautiful model.
Right.
Right. So
but in this scenario,
that's the scenario.
But in this scenario, she's your ideal woman. She's perfect.
I still think, you know what, you would justify that stink for a while if she was like your absolute, like, dream scenario girl. But there is going to be a time when that NRE wears off and you're going to be like, yo.
But you don't think you would just get used to the smells?
Nah.
You would get used to it.
Well,
you'd be like, whatever.
Here's the thing. It's funny what you'll excuse with emotion, with love. So if you are not just smitten with like how beautiful this person is, but you actually fall in love with them, you probably could at some point
tolerate.
Yeah.
Now, what
Probably.
about? That's what I'm thinking. You could tolerate. What about an STD? What if you're so into them and they're like, guess what? I do have genital herpes. Now, I've known partners that one of them does, and they've been married for 20 years, and the other person never contracts. But is that something that you would want to deal with. Do you know what I mean?
Here's the thing. You know, if you just throw it in, like, you're like, is that it? Is that something? You don't want it, right? But it goes back to
it won't kill you.
It's not going to kill you, and you can. You know, like it's in 20% of the population.
Right. Like everybody has.
Yeah, it's not that crazy. I mean,
it's not.
I don't know. We all kind of, like, those of us who don't have it, lucked out.
Yeah, it's
you know
just
what I mean?
luck.
Really,
Oh my
I threw
God.
that thing in there with a lot of shady looking chicks.
Stop it.
I mean, I'm serious. Like,
there was one guy in college I wanted to sleep with.
Yeah.
And this girl who had been with him before, we were just acquaintances. She wasn't like a close friend. She goes, "Hey, I heard this guy's talking to you. He gave me herpes, just so you know." And I was like, no more talking to that guy.
Yeah.
That was so cool of her, man.
That is. And then it's in college, but he, like, that's a hookup thing. You know, I get it. It's like, you might not want to hook up, but
a relationship.
If you were like really into someone, and you found out,
I would do that. That wouldn't bother me. Herpes. Okay.
You'd be like, hey, take your meds, man.
Yeah, you just take like Zovrax or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And it
Zovrax.
I don't know what it is. Valtrax.
I think
Valtrax.
Yeah. One time I walked into a pharmacy, by the way. I had just seen our doctor, and he gave me like amoxicillin for like a you know what I mean, like an infection, like a sinus infection, regular antibiotic. And I walk into the pharmacy, and the guy's like, "Hey, your Valtrex is ready." I go, "Hey, what?" And he goes, "Did you call for the Valtrex?" This is in front of like 10. I was like, "I don't know."
God.
He's like, "Oh, I thought you were here to pick up Valtrex." I go, "Will you shut the fuck up?" And I go, "I'm here for amoxicillin. It's an antibiotic." He's like, "Oh yeah, we got that. Hold on."
I know. And don't you find too, the older you get, at least I used to be way more squeamish about body stuff. Now I'm like, I don't there's
care.
not a lot that freaks me out.
No.
With like diseases.
I would date you. I mean, if you had HIV, I'd date you.
Really?
You know? Sure.
No, I'm being serious. Let's say I was like, fuck, I like a blood transfusion, Tommy, and like I have it now.
Totally.
You could totally be fine.
No, of course not.
What?
I would leave you in a fucking second.
Yeah. Okay, okay, here we go. Here's another one. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Perfect girl. Perfect mate. Right. Perfect. Except one night you sleep over at their house and she kisses you goodnight. She goes, night, night. And then she grabs a passy, puts it in her mouth, and a lovey, like a little tiny blanket with like a teddy bear head. And she's like, night, night. And she sleeps with a passy and a lovey.
No. That's I'm not into that.
That's a deal breaker?
I mean, I would tolerate it again for like a week, you know? Wait,
what's the big deal?
I feel like I would yell at her pretty quickly. You know what I mean?
You were in
At first, I'd be like, whoa, right? Because you're like, this is a...
Do you say anything for the first time she does it? She's like...
Yeah, of course. You're like, what's going on?
Lovey.
And she's like, I sleep with my binky and my love, my choopy.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like,
okay.
Okay. And then I'd probably be like, wait, are you serious? And then if she's like, yeah, it's just how I sleep. I'd be like, okay. But then what'll happen is like, you know, that like after a few times, I don't know, she'll be at my place. She'll be like, I don't have my pacifier in my blanket. I'd be like, you got to be fucking shitting me. And then she'd be like, I didn't like the way you said that. And I'd be like, you didn't like the way I said what? She's like, well, you were kind of rude when I said I didn't have my pacifier in my blankie with me. And I would go, okay, can you knock off this fucking nonsense for a second? And then she'd be like, you're being aggressive. And I'd be like, you're being a fucking child with a pacifier. You're 28.
Okay.
That's how old she is, right? And
yeah,
then,
of course. That's your next wife.
And then she'd be like, you're making me feel bad. And I'd be like, why don't you go fucking cry in your diaper somewhere else? Like that, you know?
Okay. What about... No, you would not. No, you would not. Okay, who's a big model? Let's say it's... Who's your model? Who do you like? Who's some 20-year-old
don't know any
hottie
models'
patati?
Names. I mean, I knew models like 20 years ago.
Bring up the hottest girl. Okay, Gigi Hadid.
Let me see.
Look at this beautiful girl. You mean to tell me this one's sleeping next to you and she puts in a passy and a lovey and says goodnight to you and you're going to be like, nah.
I mean, not on the first night. By the way, she's not really doing it for me. But
you don't like brunettes?
No, I'm just saying that this particular look is like, it doesn't... It's
not your deal.
It's not doing it.
She's not a mentally ill blonde. Like
Put in 2020 supermodels.
Okay.
Let's see. I just want to see what's out there, you know? Okay. Who's this?
Ew, that one's like anybody. Chunky. What's going on there?
I love when you're super rude about that.
I don't like fat models.
Who's
I
this?
don't like them. I don't think it doesn't look good. I don't want people who look like me on the cover of magazines.
Who's this? Who's Cindy Bruna?
She's a fat model. She's
No. That you're calling this lady fat?
100%.
Where?
For a
This
model?
one?
Yeah. For a model? Yes. She's chunky.
What are you talking about?
Babe, models are supposed to be like 90 pounds and pretty. This chick's chunky as fuck.
No.
Yeah, she needs
This lady could diarrhea on my face.
She needs to skip a meal. No, she's too fat. What about Rihanna? You love Rihanna.
I like Rihanna, but I'm not like obsessed. Like I don't feel like. I mean, also, I feel like because she's a singer, if she were like, I sleep with a pass, I'd be like, yeah, some wild shit. Like it would just be an eccentric musician thing, you know? Like they have weird shit that they definitely all do.
All right. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
All right, who are these hoes right here?
I would be like, sure.
All right, far left right there. You can put 2 pacifiers in her mouth. Who's that?
Okay, babe.
Who is that? What's her name? Click, click, click.
Okay. Can we go?
What's her name?
On?
Who's on the far left?
Look at her coney tits.
Candace Swainpole.
Candace, I would change her dye and I would
Yeah.
I would put some diaper rash cream on her.
Yeah.
Her
See what I'm saying? It's not. You say that.
Yeah.
And then look at the person we're talking about.
Make it big. Make the image bigger.
Like if Ryan Gosling had a passy and a lovey, I'd be like, "Good night, Ryan."
shit.
I'll put his binky in for him.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you wouldn't give a fuck. I'd be
Yeah,
like,
you're
"That's
right. You know
fine,
what? I'm gonna
Ryan."
go to the pharmacy and get you some new pacifiers right now. Candace, is that her
Yeah,
name?
yeah. And you'd be like,
It's one of them. I'm not sure if they're in order.
"Babe," and if she forgot it, if she was over at your house, and she's like, "I forgot my passy and lovey," and then you'd be like, "I'll go get it for you."
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I'd
And
be
then
like,
you come back.
There's a lot of traffic. I'm sorry. I made a bottle for you. I warmed it up and everything. And she's
Yeah,
like,
dude.
okay. And then I just put my dick in her mouth and I'm like,
Oh
there
my
you go.
god, stupid.
It tastes different.
Okay, what if they were seriously racist? Like they're your love of your life.
Yeah.
It's like it's me,
Yeah.
except I'm like these fucking, you know what's these things are doing that. Like seriously,
These things are doing
yeah,
that.
and you have to be like, oh my
What
god.
is the N-word? What N-word are you meaning?
And like you take her to dinner with your family and stuff,
Yeah.
and she's like, these effing
Yeah.
Jews are ruining everything.
Everyone's like,
and everyone's like, oh my god, and you have to just be like, Christina's
no,
and
it's not. It is.
It's crazy, but she's
You can't do
smoking
it.
hot. And
You can't do it. I'll tell you why. It's
Oh,
like
really?
if it's a somebody who's like legit, like they're not joking around, they're legitimately like that.
seriously hateful.
Right,
Yeah,
seriously hateful. It's gonna be exhausting because what's gonna happen
know.
is
they're dumb.
you're gonna have to spend so much energy and time being like, it's really not. You need to stop this. Like, and you're gonna say it every day, multiple times a day. You're gonna just be like, look, the Jews they're not doing that. Like you're gonna just feel so or the flip of that's gonna happen where you're just gonna be like, you know what? I'm just gonna be racist now. Like you're gonna be like, it's easier to go along with what she says.
It might
and your friends will
be-
be like, what? You'll be like, you know, it just takes so much time to try to get her to not be. So I just kind of jumped in.
Well, plus she would probably make really convincing arguments all the time. Like, you
Yeah.
know that the Ebola virus or
Yeah.
the coronavirus was developed by the Jews so they could sell us the vaccine, right? And you're like,
right,
"Oh, I guess.
right. Like a
don't know.
really articulate
Yeah.
skinhead. And you're like, I can see why you're the leader of the group. It's interesting.
She's having rallies at your house and meetings and stuff.
And then
Oh
you
my
could spin
God.
it and go like, you know what? Like me being racist now, it's a sign of my love for her. Like I love her so much
you're
that
racist.
I joined her in her shitty point of view. No, it's way too crazy.
It's too hard.
much.
It would be too much.
Would you?
Nadav?
Yeah.
What if he was an anti-Semite?
I mean, I feel like I could kind of understand where she's coming from. No. But like, if it's like legit anti-Semitism, it's like I wouldn't stand up and leave the day. Like, I'll see what goes on for the rest of this date. But like, I probably wouldn't be like, when's date number 2?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
There's no way. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It depends if it's authentic.
Yeah, it is authentic. Yeah, it's 100%.
It's a
she
deal
means it.
breaker.
Okay.
And what if
And
she
that's pretty
were storing her pee and her poop?
What do you mean?
Well, let's say, all right, you go over to this guy's house. This guy is the shit, okay?
Yeah.
He is drop dead gorgeous. He's smart. He makes you laugh. It's just the fucking best. And you get to his house, and he's like, oh, excuse me, I got to use the restroom. And you're like, oh, okay. And then he walks around, and you're like, you feel like you hear something. You're like, what's going on? And you peek into the kitchen, and he's squatted over like a Tupperware thing. He's taking a shit
in the kitchen.
Yeah, but he went out of. You were in you were in another room.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what the fuck? And then you go back to her, and you don't want to say anything. And then he comes a few minutes later, and he's got it in a Tupperware, and he's like, oh, excuse me 1 second. And he opens the door, and there's a whole room of just jars of his pee and his poop.
He's jarring,
and he keeps it in a room, and he's like, oh, I don't want to lose track. And then he writes it down. He's like, March 3rd. And he's like, and it's a score of a 6.8. Da, 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 da. And he puts a little thing on there, and he's like, anyway, I was gonna get a glass of wine. I don't know if you want it.
And what's his reasoning for this?
He's like, I just like to, keep it all detailed, exactly where everything is.
I don't think that would be a deal breaker for me.
Really?
Don't care. I'd be like, he likes to keep his boom booms. Maybe we can give it to our children. He's gonna give it.
See, this is what's stunning when you play this game and you find out it's not a deal break. Like,
well, it's his thing, and like I don't have to be a part of it.
I would be like, oh, I think I left the lights on in my car. I'll be right back.
I kind of wouldn't care. I'd be like, it's his weird OCD. It's like
it's a room full of jarred shit and piss.
Yeah,
a room, an entire bedroom.
Right. But here's what here's what I would do when I married him and stuff. I'd be like, okay, you can keep doing this. You can't do it in the kitchen. You need to find like the basement.
So he's like, okay, I won't do it in the kitchen.
Yeah, he needs to go down to the basement and store.
And then like one of your friends or cousin or somebody comes over and they're like, what's in here? You're like, whoa, just real quick. Just a real quick heads up. That room is all of Kevin's shit and piss for the last year. Really?
Yeah, but I'd make him dump it out at the end of the year too. Like,
oh, no. He doesn't play that game.
He keeps them forever?
Well, for a decade.
So we have to pay for storage?
Yeah.
Then I'm out.
That's why you're out?
Well, because I don't believe in paying for storage for it. That's silly. Why would we spend thousands and thousands of dollars to store it?
There was a whole bedroom of shit and piss. She's like, he says quirk.
That's fine.
You know?
I didn't say a bedroom. It's got to be in the basement.
Some people, they use mouthwash first, then they brush their teeth. Some people brush their teeth first.
I'm just saying it has to be in the basement. It's not a primary room. And I don't want to pay for storage. I don't believe in paying for storage.
Insanity.
What if it's just pee? What if he jarred his pee?
Ooh. No.
Hi, Jeans. Did you like that highlight? Well, you can watch an entire episode here or more highlights here. But definitely subscribe here. That way you can, get the latest videos as they drop. For real, 4 strokes.